Welcome back to the channel, everybody. And today we have a corrupt cop who does something that is for the history books. This officer right here decided he was going to pull out his dingaling at a hotel room and run around chasing women, presumably to, do the unthinkable to them. It's a horrific situation. I can't say that I'm in disbelief because a lot of people like this man here become police officers specifically just to have power over people and abuse people and think they can do whatever they want and essentially be a fascist dictator, a little wannabe, right? But let's get right into it. This is a wild one.
A Fed
Committed the offense of indecent exposure.
accused of pulling a filthy criminal stunt.
Mr. Spillman?
United States Secret Service officer John Andrew Spillman busted for allegedly dropping his pants, pleasuring himself, and menacingly following hotel guests to the point they had to retreat to their room for safety, according to cops. An arrest form obtained exclusively by 7 News, stating a woman told deputies she and others immediately entered their room because she was in fear for their lives.
711 Northwest 72nd Avenue, the Doubletree Hotel.
This Doubletree near Miami International Airport is where the 33-year-old federal law enforcement member was arrested just after midnight Monday, after victims told sheriff's deputies they were downstairs in the hotel lobby and the defendant followed them. Then they saw the defendant masturbating next to their hotel room. The Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office report explaining they called hotel security, who found the defendant with his pants lowered and masturbating on the 6th floor. 7 News reached out to the Secret Service about their officer said to be caught with his pants down. They tell us Officer Spillman, who's from Marble Falls, Texas, is based in Washington, D.C., but was in South Florida working a security perimeter screening detail at Trump Doral for the president's visit as he attended the 2026 Cadillac Championship golf tournament. The chief of the Secret Service releasing a statement that reads in part, "The alleged conduct is unacceptable and stands in stark contrast to the professionalism and integrity that I demand of our personnel." Spillman's South Florida assignment concluded Sunday, and he was off duty when arrested.
I've appointed the public defender's office to represent you.
He appeared in bond court Monday, with no mention of his role with the Secret Service.
Our bond is set at $1,000.
First off, his last name was Spillman. He was trying to spill all right in that hotel lobby or spill on those people or breaking the room. They were in fear for their life. Can you imagine that? You're on a trip and then just mind-boggling. But to me, it's even more shocking that not only is he a cop, he was tasked with keeping the president of the United States safe. And how could somebody like this pass a background check and slip through the holes? This guy is obviously extremely dangerous. It's like as much of a security risk to the president that you possibly could have is somebody like him. If someone is willing to engage in what he did, they're willing to do anything. Their mind is not working correctly. If you're willing to do that, you're willing to kill people. You're probably willing to do terrorism. You're probably willing to abuse children. For instance, what happened if this guy is in, somewhere secluded with a 9-year-old girl? What do you think is going to happen? This guy is dangerous, ridiculous. And so, not surprised, because I don't even think it's a theory. I think we can just call it a fact. A large portion of law enforcement are individuals who have deep-rooted insecurities, who, maybe have been bullied when they were younger or didn't get the girls and girls were always rude to them and they have a vendetta with society. And they want to be law enforcement to go out there and be rude and disrespectful and, hurt people mentality out here in the world. It's very common. That's what we're seeing when we see this psychological dichotomy we see with, ridiculous law enforcement encounters with psycho cops. It's a theme here, the stereotypes writing themselves. And so clearly somebody with these types of mental issues would consider being law enforcement. And law enforcement for crazy people like this and, messed up people and broken people like this is one of the easiest routes they can go to get power. Being a judge or a prosecutor takes a law degree and it takes a whole bunch of work, or, being in a real power like the head of a company takes many, 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 many years and stuff like that. And most positions of power are pretty difficult to get into. But for the average, psycho person, you can be a cop in some jurisdictions after like, you know, 60 days of training, to be honest, or less. So it's a real easy way you can just go and get a badge and have power over people. You don't even have to be an American citizen. You see all these cops that are getting um, deported to their countries because some law enforcement jurisdictions, you don't have to be a legal American citizen to be a law enforcement officer, which is like a whole nother shocking situation there, right? But, you know, anyway, psycho situation here. Hopefully he gets a lot of time. But I don't think he will, because law enforcement never do. Only time they get a lot of time is when, you know, they mess with the power structure or they do something to a child. Other than that, it's always a slap on the wrist. But luckily for me, and I have to GoFundMe down below, I have cops that have been stalking me to either kill me, plant drugs in my car. Like, trust me, if you're new here, it sounds crazy, but watch the video. I'm going to have it pop up at the end of this video, and it's going to be in the description. And also, I have the GoFundMe. The GoFundMe has the video there as well. It's completely serious, but I say that and I mention it because these cops who are involved with this particular situation, they're going to get, I believe, arrested. And the reason why is not because, you know, not because the law enforcement cares about me. It's because what the cops are doing can affect the power structure, because they're abusing law enforcement databases to just look up and target people who they want. And there's numerous cases in Georgia recently with law enforcement and chief of police being arrested for abusing those systems. And again, it's not about the people they were doing it to, whether it's um, somebody who has litigation that they want to track and plan something on or plot drugs, or an ex that the chief of police is stalking or whatever. The power structure don't care about me and the people victims in these cases. They care about these law enforcement thinking they can use these systems, because what if they want to look up the state's attorney general and track him on their free time? What if they want to look up the governor of Florida, or the governor of Georgia, or the governor of whoever, and they want to just take it upon themselves to just start stalking a powerful person? So that's why these cops are getting in trouble in my particular case, because it threatens the power structure if you have rogue officers who want to just target people at random and stalk them. So I think in my particular case, we will likely see some arrests here if the rule of law is real. But again, the only reason why I think that is because it threatens the power structure, their conduct of what they're doing. Hell, the departments that they work at, if particularly the sheriffs are not involved, they don't want them doing that in the systems, because what if this lower level officer decides he wants to start tracking the sheriff, or tracking the sheriff's wife, or tracking the sheriff's family? And it's just, that's really what it's about, why I think there'll be arrests, because they don't want them doing that. But anyway, all of that is in the video that is here and in the description, and I will catch y'all at the next one. And Mr. Spillman here, crazy.